The day began like many others for Samuel, with the quiet rhythm of his walking stick tapping against the cracked pavement. The sound guided him forward, one careful step at a time, painting a picture of the world he could no longer see, but had learned to understand in other ways. The morning air was cool, carrying the mixed scents of dust, petrol, and distant food stalls. Samuel moved slowly along the roadside, his worn shoes brushing against gravel, his stick sweeping gently from side to side, alerting him to obstacles long before he reached them. Blindness had come into his life years earlier, sudden and unforgiving. An illness he could not afford to treat had stolen his sight, leaving him to navigate a world that had become unfamiliar overnight. At first, fear had consumed him. He had stumbled, fallen, and been laughed at. But over time, Samuel adapted. He trained his ears to listen more closely, his skin to feel subtle changes in air and temperature, his instincts to sense movement and danger. The stick in his hand was not just a tool, it was an extension of himself, a symbol of survival. Samuel lived modestly, in a single-room space he rented with the help of small donations and odd jobs. He repaired radios by touch, fixed small engines by listening to their sounds, and helped people whenever he could. He believed strongly that kindness was a currency that never lost value. Though life had stripped him of sight, it had sharpened his heart. That morning, as Samuel walked along the quiet stretch of road outside the city, he heard something unusual. A car engine coughed, sputtered, and then fell silent. The sudden stillness that followed was heavy, broken only by the faint heat escaping metal. Samuel stopped, turning his head slightly toward the sound. He listened carefully, the way one listens when vision cannot help. The car was close, just off the road. He took a few steps forward, tapping his stick cautiously until it met the solid surface of a vehicle. The metal was still warm. Nearby he sensed movement, heard soft footsteps shifting impatiently. "Is someone there?" a woman's voice called out, edged with frustration. "Yes," Samuel replied gently. "I'm here. Are you all right, ma'am?" There was a pause, then a sigh. "My car just broke down. I don't know what happened. It just stopped." Samuel nodded, though she could not see it. "May I ask what kind of sound it made before stopping?" The woman hesitated. "It was rough, like it was struggling, then it died." Samuel smiled faintly. "Sometimes engines speak before they fail," he said. "If you don't mind, I can listen." "You?" she asked, surprised. "I mean, you can help?" "I can try," Samuel said calmly, "if you're willing." She looked at him more closely now, noticing the white cane, the dark glasses, the calm confidence in his posture. Confusion flickered in her voice. "You're blind." "Yes," Samuel replied, without offense, "but I've fixed cars before." There was another pause, longer this time. Then she exhaled. "All right," she said. "At this point, I don't have much to lose." Samuel moved closer, guided by the sound of the car's engine ticking as it cooled. He crouched carefully, placing one hand on the hood, the other steadying himself with the stick. He asked her to start the car. When she did, the engine groaned weakly, then stopped again. Samuel tilted his head, listening intently, absorbing every sound, every vibration. "Try again." She did, and Samuel's fingers traced along the hood, feeling the tremor, the uneven rhythm. He stood slowly and walked around the front of the car, his stick tapping until he found the open hood latch she had left unclosed. He leaned in, his hands moving confidently among the components, identifying them by shape, texture, and heat. The woman watched in disbelief as he worked. He adjusted a loose cable, tightened a connection, wiped dirt from a sensor using a handkerchief from his pocket. Every movement was precise, practiced, and calm. "Try now," Samuel said. She turned the key. The engine roared back to life, smooth and strong. Her mouth fell open. "Oh my God," she whispered. "It's working." Samuel stepped back, a small smile touching his lips. "It just needed attention," he said. "Machines are like people. Sometimes they stop when something small goes wrong." She stared at him, a mix of awe and disbelief washing over her. "You fixed my car," she said slowly. "You're blind, and you fixed my car." Samuel chuckled softly. "Blindness doesn't take away ability. It just changes how you use it." She extended her hand instinctively, then realized he could not see it. "I'm sorry," she said quickly. "My name is Clara." "Samuel," he replied. "It's nice to meet you, Clara." Clara studied him, noticing the calm confidence in his voice, the dignity in the way he stood. She was used to people jumping at her requests, intimidated by her wealth and status, but Samuel spoke to her as an equal, without fear or expectation. "You saved me a lot of trouble. I was on my way to an important meeting." They sat together at a small roadside cafe. Clara ordered generously, while Samuel listened to the sounds around him, the clink of plates, the hum of conversation. As they ate, Clara found herself asking questions, drawn by curiosity and something deeper. Samuel spoke of his life with honesty, never asking for pity. He told her how he learned to live without sight, how he trained himself to hear engines and feel vibrations, how he survived one day at a time. Clara listened, captivated. She had known luxury, power, and influence, but she had never known resilience like this. Days passed, and Clara found herself thinking about Samuel more often than she expected. She returned to the same road one afternoon, hoping to hear the familiar tap of his stick. When she did, her heart lifted. They began meeting regularly, sometimes for meals, sometimes just to talk. Clara learned that Samuel struggled to pay rent, that medical bills weighed heavily on him. Without making a show of it, she began to help. Bills were paid anonymously at first. His landlord suddenly became kinder. His room was repaired without explanation. Samuel noticed the changes but did not question them. He sensed kindness, but he did not know its source. One evening, Clara finally confessed. "I've been helping you," she said quietly. "I hope you're not upset." Samuel was silent for a moment. Then he smiled. "No," he said. "I'm grateful. But more than that, I'm grateful for your honesty." Their bond deepened. Clara admired Samuel's strength, his humility, his unwavering kindness. Samuel, in turn, admired Clara's compassion, her willingness to see beyond appearances, her genuine care. Love crept in slowly, gently, like dawn after a long night. It was in the way Clara listened when Samuel spoke, in the way Samuel sensed her presence before she said a word. It was in shared laughter, quiet moments, and mutual respect. One evening, under a sky Samuel could not see, but could feel in the cool air and distant sounds, Clara took a deep breath. "Samuel," she said, her voice trembling slightly, "I've never believed in love like this before, but you've changed me. You've shown me a world I never knew existed." Samuel listened, his heart pounding. "I don't want to imagine my life without you. Will you marry me?" Samuel's breath caught. He had never imagined such a moment, never believed someone like Clara could love him so deeply. "Yes," he said softly, "I will." Clara smiled through tears, wrapping her arms around him. In that embrace, two lives from vastly different worlds came together, bound by kindness, respect, and love. Samuel never regained his sight, but he gained something far greater, a partner who saw him completely. Clara never lost her wealth, but she gained something priceless, a love that money could never buy. And on that quiet roadside where a car once broke down, two hearts found their way home.